All right, folks, it is true the XRP Ledger AMM Amendment has been delayed. And we are talking about the automated market maker, another utility coming to the XRP Ledger. And this is really going to spur DeFi in the XRP Ledger ecosystem, which is why we are all a big fan of it. Even the validators, or so they say, the validators that pulled back their votes here today because they weren't comfortable with pushing through the AMM amendment, because as it stands right now, there is a small edge use case bug that is an issue, and they didn't want to put it forward. They want to put a proposal forward that is clean. And so for that reason, some validators did pull back their vote this morning. Now we're going to take a look at the current votes on the amendment. We're going to take a look at the fix that's already been approved, ran through, and is ready to be implemented. As always, I try to simplify these technical, conversations, the validation process, the amendments, everything to do with the XRP Ledger. I try to simplify this down so that the regular person who doesn't have a background in blockchain and technology and developing can understand what the heck we're talking about and how is it going to benefit the average XRP holder, right? How are we going to make some dang money? Let's get into it. So we did make some money today. The green candles were being printed. Take a look at it. So this is Bitcoin back up to 44,000. Now, I'm zoomed out here on the daily chart. You guys know the deal. Spot Bitcoin ETF, buy the rumor, sell the news event. And boy, oh boy, did we get sacrificed back down here to 38,500, just as predicted. And then last week, what did we talk about? We talked about the potential for Bitcoin to come back into about the 43 to 45,000 range before continuing the correction. And sure enough, where are we at right now? 44,000. So just going to continue to watch this one from here. I don't believe that the correction is over, but a little bit of a rally here today has everyone in good spirits. Ethereum back up to 2,400, XRP back up to that 51 cent level, continuing to watch it. And then we did get some fresh new green candles on the stocks. I'll show you that. But we did get red on the silver and our gold. What's interesting is how well silver is holding $22 per ounce. I'm probably going to be taking advantage of this sale myself. Now, gold holding the 2,000 level very well. Back down to, on January 17th here, back down to 2,000 for gold. Meanwhile, it's nothing but green candles and new all-time highs for NVIDIA and the flying tech stocks, posting a brand new all-time high of $700, and in after-hour tradings were already up to $704 for your NVIDIA. Now, for Amazon, back up to 170, watching that one, right? S&P 500 tapping off of the $4,999 level. I don't think that we quite ticked off 5,000, but pretty dang close. That's 4,99911. Okay, so S&P 500 all new all-time high. Dow Jones pretty close, but we did it just a couple days ago there last Friday. And then for the NASDAQ, we're back up to a new all-time high. Now, meanwhile, we've watched as across the Pacific in China, they've actually had to hit the circuit breaker on their stock market that's already fallen off in a major way. I think that that is a precursor of what could be coming back here to the United States. Two completely different situations, countries, and challenges that they face. But this is a globally interconnected economy and market. And our market is still delusional. At the end of the day, just to keep it simplified, our market's still delusional, and there's still plenty of cash that's in existence right now, waiting to be deployed and getting deployed right now, as we've seen a sell-off in the bonds, and folks are moving back into the stocks because they're thinking, well, what the heck? Let me go get these gains, and we're watching all these fresh green candles getting printed, and so we'll just continue to keep you guys updated on that one. We did see the pump once again on Meta, back up to a new all-time high for Meta, I believe, and the market is delusional, and they are also disconnected from Main Street. So we'll continue to break that one down in other episodes, but let's get right on into why the XRP Ledger AMM was delayed. How soon can we fix it? How soon will the AMM be implemented? And will the AMM make us rich? Let's break it down. So we take a look here. This is the XRPscan.com amendments, and you guys can see right here for yourself all of the current amendments that are being voted on right now. And you guys can see that AMM was at 25 as of just about an hour ago. We did lose another vote. Now, we were not very far over the threshold. We were at like 30 votes total, I believe. And so this morning, a couple validators got together and they made the call to pull it. And so that pulled us under the 80% threshold. And then after that, we saw another 4 that did pull, bringing us down to 24 yay votes on the AMM. So it has been delayed. How long will this last? Not very long. What we see here from VET is the XRP Ledger Automated Market Maker Inner Object Edge Case Fix has been merged and is ready to be published into another release. So on the next released version of Ripple D, which is the code for the XRP Ledger, it is going to be ready to be implemented and we will be ready to go. Now, this has already been, brought forward. It's already been approved and tested. And so now it's ready to be implemented, right? We are ready to send this thing. And this is tremendous progress for the XRP Ledger and how slow the XRP Ledger used to be, right? And now we're finally starting to see these validators are being responsive. They're coming into Twitter spaces and trying to communicate with the XRP community. Absolutely love to see that. And as highlighted right here, for the AMM, this was an inner object edge case. Very, very, minute issue, I would say, to the point where some were actually of the opinion that we shouldn't have, taken down the vote here. We shouldn't have taken down the amendment, basically bringing now we have to restart the timer, right? After it hits the 80% consensus, the clock starts and we need to hold it for 2 weeks and then it gets activated. Some folks thought that this was such a small edge case problem bug that it really wasn't that big of an issue, that we should have just passed the amendment. And then obviously the fix didn't take long. It took them literally, hours. I mean, and this bug was also found by Ripple. It's very important to note that, right? A lot of people are suggesting that Ripple's just trying to push this through because the AMM is critical for their business. And I do believe that the AMM is critical for their business, as we've highlighted that Ripple wants to move their on-demand liquidity flows to the DEX. And the AMM is only going to make the DEX even more efficient. So I do believe it is critical to their business, but Ripple themselves have been running through the trials and the tests on this along with other validators. And in doing so, they found this bug. And one of their developers, I believe, has actually came up with the fix as well here too. And so this shows you that it really wasn't that big of a deal. I feel like these developers, sometimes they try to act like they're doing some sort of esoteric, building and creations behind closed doors and make this big mystery out of it, when really it's not all that complicated. Now, I'm not going to be writing code. So God bless the developers that are making this thing work. I really do mean that, because we know if it was up to me, we'd be screwed, right? That's not my place. That's not my role. So I'm glad that we have this. And I'm glad that we have the decentralized community that, hey, they want to pull their votes. They want to see us put through an amendment that's absolutely clean. Sure, that's fine. We could debate that all day long, but nonetheless, that's true decentralization. I'm a fan of it. And, speaking to that was David Schwartz in my, not in my Twitter space, in VET's Twitter space earlier today. I managed to get the recording of David right here. And so in a separate YouTube video, I have the full 3-minute response from David Schwartz into the delay. And I'll just give you the quick summary right here. He basically said that he was really proud of the XRP community because even though, we didn't want to see the vote necessarily pulled back, we're glad to see that the community cares and that validators care and that validators around the world are working to secure this ledger. That is positive. And that's basically what David said. I'll have the link for the video will be posted up here at the end as I shut this one down. You can just click on that next video and it'll be the full 3-minute response if you want to listen to it. And so I'm in the same exact camp as David, right? This is true decentralization. This is progress for the XRP ledger. DeFi finally getting unlocked for our community and our ecosystem. And this is what we've been waiting for. Now, I did take a couple notes here that I wanted to make sure I didn't miss any of these. Yeah, we still have 25 votes. That's what I took the note. That was a couple hours ago. As I showed you, the votes dropped down to 24. And so one thing to note here is that you can implement this in a package where basically you would pull back the AMM amendment. Nobody's going to pass that. And you're just going to issue a new amendment that has the fix inside of it so that you have just that to vote on. And it looks to me like the consensus among many of the validators is don't package it up, because we want to just kind of maintain the 24 votes that we have for it to speed up the process, i.e., let's keep the votes on the AMM, and then let's just implement another fix. So we'll have two separate deals. And so as soon as that fix is implemented, or if it gets proposed in the next update for Ripple D, then it'll all be merged kind of together, and we can get that passed rather quickly. So the long and the short of it, guys, is that this has only been delayed by maybe a few weeks to a month. You know, we're talking about even if this takes longer, we're talking maybe the end of March at the latest, right? So we're still looking at this thing could get rolled out early March. I would hesitate to say here in February because we still need to be able to vote on it. And then once the votes hit, it's still going to take 2 weeks. So, you know, probably still a few weeks to a month out minimum. But, you know, worst case scenario, we're looking at the end of March. And the same exact thing happened with NFTs. And the final point that I'll make is that this is what we want out of our developers and out of our ledger, the robust system here that doesn't go down. While we see all these other blockchains, Solana, and the rest of them, right, continuously having issues, they push through and they move quickly, but they also break all the time. With the XRP ledger, it moves slowly, but once implemented, it's pretty dang solid. And we find little bugs here and there. We implement quick fixes and we're set. So the main ledger remains solid, robust for fast, cheap, and efficient payments. And they found a bug on NFTs during the activation period, right? You know, a week before NFTs were set to go live on the XRP ledger, this same exact thing happened. And so they pulled the vote, they fixed it, and they brought it back and they were able to pass it. And it did stall it a little bit, but nonetheless, that's what we want. We want our developers to be able to build these things, to break it, to fix it. And the XRP ledger's success speaks for itself. 10 years, essentially all uptime. It's just been working essentially flawlessly. So we could ask for nothing more. And one final point that I wanted to share here before we close out this session is the fact that we do have Ripple X and the developers from Ripple are going to be setting up XRP Ledger Zone at Ethereum Denver. And they're going to be sharing speakers, in-depth presentations, EVM workshops, networking for builders, and more. And for those of you guys that, you know, haven't seen it yet, we do have the EVM sidechain is going live. And after we get the XLS 38D amendment, another amendment that is cross-chain bridge, then we will have interoperability with this EVM sidechain. And to simplify it, what does this mean? Any smart contract that's written in Ethereum Virtual Machine, Solidity is the code, you would be able to run that through the EVM sidechain where you're going to be using XRP as a gas token. So you're settling on the XRP ledger in 3 to 5 seconds. XRP is a gas token. And this is definitely a step forward for the additional utility. So it's not just the AMM that we're getting, right? We have NFTs. Now we're getting AMM. We're going to get cross-chain bridge, which will connect us with the EVM sidechain and any other blockchain that we want to get connected with, right? So we can do smart contracts using Zahao, settling on XRP. We can do smart contracts on Evernote, settling XRP, smart contracts on Flare, settling XRP. You get the point, right? And this EVM sidechain is going to be massive because you already have hundreds of thousands of developers that already know Solidity, are already working with the EVM. So they don't have to learn anything new. They can just start settling. And the reason why this is important, Ripple and XRPL, Ripple X going to ETH, is because a lot of people in the ETH community don't even know that this is available. A lot of people in the broader crypto space don't even know all the developments that are happening here on the XRP ledger. They still just think that XRP is a banker's coin. It's only meant for payments. It's centralized and it sucks. And it hasn't gone to all-time high since 2018. So I'm not going to invest in it. Okay, well, that's fine. You don't have to invest in it, but you should at least learn the facts about what's happening in the ecosystem because it's a hell of a lot better than the program that you guys got working on over there. That's all I'll say on that. With that being said, guys, if you appreciate the update, you guys know what to do. I will see you guys in the next one. Appreciate you all. God bless. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.